Hey everyone, and welcome back to FAMcast. This is episode 47. I'm Trevor. I'm with Tim, and our guest this week on Summer of Streamers is our friend Fultzilla, aka Kenny. And he was nice enough to join us on this week. You might find him familiar if you've watched our previous Mana and Monsters VODs, where we've played a D&D on stream. He was our priest, correct?
I was Taerik the Cleric.
Cleric, that's what it was. I knew it was something in that
I am playing priest in WoW right now.
That's where it was. Okay, that's where I got the mix up.
I don't know why. I just like healing and supporting.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with Overwatch now. I actually prefer playing like Zenyatta or Lucio, more of a support instead of being like the main, like the front line. So I feel that.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime I hear his Taerik voice, I think of Hearthstone and the guy in
Oh,
the
yeah.
intro. Every time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Taerik the Cleric is definitely a staple of Mana and Monsters for sure. And that might be a good place to start here. So we played D&D. It's probably been a couple months now because it's
Like half a year.
Yeah, it's been longer
man.
than that because we weren't even in the house at that time.
Literally half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a really
Yeah.
long time since Taerik the Cleric, and really any of our characters have been on that journey.
Yeah.
But that's something that I know we've kind of discussed bringing back, which I'm pretty excited for. So when you played D&D with us, was that your first experience playing, or have you played before?
So I've played D&D, but I haven't played it consistently in over a decade. So, like, I was playing this my junior year of high school, senior year of high school, and even, like, the first year out. We had, like, crazy adventures. Like, my best friend was our DM. He's actually my best man from my wedding.
Nice.
But, like, we got so elaborate on one of our chains that we were running our own city. Like,
What?
we were running our own city. Like, he just went with it, and like, all right, so we're governing the people. We're making sure
Oh my
that
gosh.
like everyone is in good. It was almost like what's a good comparison game
You're
where you're
playing
always checking,
Civilization.
like Fallout,
Or
the Fallout shelter, like where
Oh,
you're
yeah,
checking
yeah.
like make sure everyone's happy, they're all doing a job,
Sure.
collecting tax, like. And literally, we got to the point where we were having a war. Like, so
like a
it
civil
was
war?
it was pretty awesome. Yeah, like not a civil war, but like a neighboring city
Sure.
in this realm. Like, I don't know how we even got there. There's like, I don't know. It's just been a blast. Like, I've always loved expanding on creativity, like fantasy. Helped him come up with like a lot of the core ideas, and he kind of just took it from there.
That's awesome.
That's neat.
He was really good on thinking on his toes too. Like, we had someone roll 3 1s in a row. 3 1s in a row. So we were chasing the antagonist, and he leapt off like a mountainside. And our buddy Dave just felt it would be noble to chase after him. And, like, we didn't want to kill him off. We didn't want to, like, basically have to restart that character. So
Right.
he had divine intervention. So he basically had his deity take form of the mountain and just basically come up, grab him, and place him back. Like,
That's sick.
it was so awesome. And another example is just like one of our dwarven warriors. He fell into a volcano and he came out evolved. I think it's called an Asmer.
Huh.
It's basically a dwarf-like creature, but imagine his hair is on fire. And
That's
like
pretty
literally,
sick.
that's a weapon if anyone gets close to him. Like, it was a ton of fun just like
That's
building it
clever.
and like creating these characters, getting elaborate backstories. Like, I want to say the character creation part of those people like took a full 3 hours.
Oh wow.
Like, we just all sat there like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like, that was probably like the best bonding experience of D&D. And then
yeah.
and then we literally just, all right, I know exactly how I'm going to play this guy. Like, I know what I want to do. I know what this guy would do in this situation. Boom. So, yes, I have played D&D before, and it's just it's been missing in my life for a while.
Yeah, and I know that Tim plays pretty consecutively now every week, but before he started that, Man and Monsters was my first experience. Now that we aren't playing, I definitely feel that void in my heart as well. So I'd love to get back into it too. I think the one of the things that's toughest for me with D&D is I'm still new to the role playing aspect. Like it's hard to like, how do you not always like, I guess it depends on your personality, but for me, like, I would always want to like be the hero, like always like do the right thing. So like, how do you create a character that's different than like your own views? It's kind of hard to kind of separate yourself sometimes. But
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. Like, oh, I want, like, you could still have those same core morals. If and then just basically, okay, so what you're just saying, like, be the hero. That could either be like a lawful good or a chaotic neutral kind of person, where like seeing the scene and just, I know how it act. Like, I'm praising this deity because he values these things.
Right.
Like, I don't know, you seem like a very creative person, like with all your art, with the content creation on the channel.
Thank you.
Just everything around you just speaks like I'm a creative person, and like this is just another outlet, and if you have more outlets, it's just gonna be better for that type of person.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's definitely I like how open-ended D&D is. Just there's really no limitation to what you can do. Like Tim was even saying something. Well, I won't say anything in case Tim's still thinking about.
Go for it. I have thoughts and things, but yeah, go for it.
Okay. So Tim was saying something, or he was thinking about like a Resident Evil D&D kind of experience. Like you can really craft it with like any type of world or characters, whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Because I have like thoughts about like making it, and I think it'd start off as like a one shot. It'd be like maybe a mansion or something, or some kind of one shot of my own creation. And like I would potentially either have you guys create characters, or I thought about creating characters that you guys can select from that would kind of fit the story or whatnot. But yeah, it's interesting because D&D, like you were saying, and like Kenny was saying, is you can make it out of whatever you want. I mean, as long as you have a good guidance and know how to. And my number one thing is going to be determination to follow through with it. I think it's a fantastic outlet to just go crazy.
So. Not to interrupt, and I have a very bad tendency of doing that, Tim, so you guys can stop me if I do it.
No,
like, in that kind of game, like, that idea, you can literally create how you play it. So, we have D&D, which is normally done by the series of die, like the D4 all the way to D20, and sometimes D100. In the game that you're describing, Tim, like, I'd almost do, like, a D6 only. So... What I mean by that is, has anyone played Warhammer?
I have not.
Or yeah, I've played. Okay. I've played the RTS version of Warhammer, but not like the.
Okay, so the actual board itself, like imagine like just the battleground. You have the game like will give you certain chance odds. So if you have an obstructed view, you would have to get. If you're trying to make a difficult shot or a challenging shot, like, ooh, I want to do it one-eyed open, or I need to peer around the corner without even looking. All right, I need 5, or I need a total roll of like 18 on 4 dice, and if you don't get it, you miss. Like those kind of rolls or rules, I should say.
So instead of like playing like the standard, perception, survival, all those skill checks, I kind of make my own branded of skill checks that would use, instead of you rolling a d20 for everything, like you said, it's a d6 only roll.
Yeah,
I need a total. That's a good.
There's a Star Wars game, I believe, that plays like that too. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like, oh, you're in this duel right here, and you're just trying to be a Someone was actually describing me, like, he was so advanced that he was just spinning his gun, and he could roll, like, he made it so the more levels he grew, the more dice he could throw for these kind of skill checks. So, basically, he's twirling his gun and shooting 6 bullets, and there's 6 enemies, actually 7, and, like, the game runner's like, all right, you need a 56 on 10 rolls. You need a 56 on 10 rolls or something like that, like to kill them all. Things like that. You can get super creative with that. Like, and like, because you have that risk or like that percentage chance, like it almost creates like that more, or it allows more of that creativity and like the ideas to come up.
One of the kind of like things I was thinking about trying to implement, and I'm sure it's something that's already in a D&D game of some sort, is, you know how most of the time we have a D&D session, you have, okay, your turn, you go first, what do you do, what do you do, what do you do? So I was trying to think of a way to, like, because a lot of things with Resident Evil is just, it's on the, you gotta think, you gotta be right now, right? So I would kind of pass it on between you and Trey or whoever's playing, but the enemies, like if they're zombies, they're still coming at you. So while you're trying to think, if you take too long to think, you're gonna keep giving them progression levels. So to make you kind of have to think on your toes a little bit more, I thought about making the enemies, even though it's not necessarily quote unquote their turn, they are constantly active.
Even like an hourglass, like say like, hey, you know, just something like, hey, you know, 30-second hourglass. Right. You only have, you know, you have to like keep thinking. Right. Or even like you mentioned, like it's a spur of the moment thing. Maybe Trey's in the middle of describing what his characters are going to do, then all of a sudden you just interrupt them, and you're like, like, sorry, you just got attacked. What's happening? Right. Yeah.
Like there's no. I want to make that like tension. Like, you gotta be quick with your thoughts. Now, clearly, like, zombies are going to be a little bit different depending on where they're at, right, on the room. Sure. But, like, hunters, they're quick. Oh, yeah. They're super quick. Oh, yeah. So, like, things like that. And I got thoughts in my head. I need to jot them down, but that's kind of where I was thinking about going.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Do you have a grid map?
No, I don't have a grid map. Well, I do. There's one in there, but it's actually being used currently for our current D&D session that we're using right now. But I need another grid map because I want to...
Yeah, I'd say, like, get a blank one and, like, a notepad and, like, just jot ideas. Like, I mean, Resident Evil was so awesome about, like, the tension and like, creating random enemies. Like, it's an awesome action role player. Like, there was so... Like, you remind me so much of one of my friends from high school. His name's Kevin. Like, he was obsessed with zombies. Like, literally, we'd go over to his house, watch cheesy zombie movies. We'd all pick who we would be in the movie. Like, oh yeah, that's totally a you kind of thing. Awesome. And and like, he would always have these board games. All right, so like a turn-based one where it's like the survivors. We have to go in this house. It was a very simple kind of map. Like, go into a house, we have to search for keys, like, things to repair a car, and gas in order to escape, or kill all the zombies. So searching the house for weapons, like, random things like that. Like, I think it worked, like, you had to go, I don't know, I'm digressing, but drawing cards for the weapons. Sure. Yeah, we've played various kind of games kind of like that to kind of help boast creativity and, like, Survivor, things like that. That's awesome. Like, I love getting in group sessions and, like, coming up with, like, how we can, like, what do we want to do?
Oh yeah, like even like separate from a character creation thing, even just having just one session of brainstorming different campaigns like this, like different one-off sessions. Like, Tim could build, you know, like the oh shoot, what's his name? I keep wanting to say Wesker.
Are you thinking Spencer?
Spencer Mansion, thank you. I'm like, I know it's not Wesker. Spencer Mansion, like coming up with just like a Spencer Mansion campaign. Right. It's where you map it out and everything. You've got all the encounters planned out. That would be so cool. And maybe it only takes like 1 or 2 sessions. And it's not something that continues, or maybe it is something that continues. Right. Maybe you bring it into Resident Evil 2.
I'd probably like make pre-made characters in that situation.
That was my thought.
Just making a suggestion. So like each character has positives and pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Barry, he's very weak to zombie bites.
Yeah.
Not good at making quick decisions.
But he has amazing puns.
Yes.
And that'd be cool. Like, say your character isn't good at making quick decisions, and we have this 30-second counter. Maybe he only gets 15 seconds.
Right, and that's and a lot of that inspiration is from the board game itself that I'm going to get eventually. Which, by the way, it's coming out in September, but it's because I'm not going to get till next year. So keep that in mind. Yeah,
really?
Because it's Kickstarter stuff.
Gotcha.
But
that's cool.
But like I have some inspiration from like what they're doing there. But yeah, I mean that would be the thing. Pros and cons for each person. If you're playing as Rebecca Chambers, you're going to be much better at healing yourself and or other allies than what Chris Redfield would be. But Chris Redfield's going to be a lot better with like a knife and things like that. Like I'm
exactly
right. Like
more hand to hand.
I think we have to make this happen. For one,
yeah.
Like before we get any further, I think like we definitely have to plan out some campaigns because this sounds amazing. So
like a game that I play and I frickin' love, I adore it, is Lords of Waterdeep. This is like a building kind of game. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but anywho, that's not important. So basically, like you would make it so like you can make it so like if only one person is playing, there are less zombies. Like you can build the game to however many people are playing.
Right.
Okay.
And it would be one of those things. It would definitely 100% be a test trial thing. Like that's why I'd want to do a one shot first to see if it made sense, if it worked, and if it works and we have good success, I would 100% try to make like a full thing out of it. So I really want to do it. I've had the thought and I want to make it happen, but I may come to you, Kenny, and bounce ideas back and forth with you just to see what you think.
I am totally happy to do that. Like. I'm free anytime.
Awesome.
Like we can even do like a video chat like this or anything like that. Like I'm totally good.
And like if I make it and I'm going to be the DM of the thing, I don't want to give you like spoiler stuff, so it may be like very just like hindsight.
Secretive.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hindsight
yeah.
Stuff. Like what should I do in blank blank? And I'm going to just say blank blank. And I'm going to hope you can figure out what I mean by blank blank and you can tell me the answer.
Right.
You could like. It's funny that you say that because you know how I told you, like, I partnered with our DM a ton. So whenever it came to a time where I helped him on an idea, something happened to me. Like, my character. Like, I'd be fighting on my own little side quest. Or something like that. Like, we even had a session one time where it's like, all right, half of the session or maybe like 25% of the session was only me and what I was facing.
Okay.
And then the other like 3/4 was the rest of the group and what all they had to do at the same time. You know how like certain RPGs like meanwhile.
Right.
Yeah.
You can. What's great about like certain sequences like that, like let's say Tim's unable to make it live, you can literally create your own session for when Tim's available. Like, hey, let's catch up. Here's what we missed.
That's super neat.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Where you keep the story flowing and it doesn't change. It doesn't break up the canon.
And that'd be great for our scenario because some nights Trey might work late, such as tonight, and maybe he can't make the session, but we still want to play with Trey.
Right.
So that's a great way to still bring him in and
exactly
like
fill the gaps and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
I'll throw some swamps in there randomly.
Right.
Random
just
swamp
like
throughout like the area. Just
the most ambitious crossover of all time.
That's
when Tim becomes a paladin and names his hammer Thwomp.
Yes.
Oh. Right.
It's a good idea.
Right.
Oh my gosh. No.
But I know that's a lot on the D&D side, but we wanted to bring you on because you're a fellow streamer just like us.
Oh, I thought we brought him on literally just to talk about D&D.
Yeah, just about D&D. Actually,
I'm totally okay with doing that.
Actually, guys, we're going to end the podcast and we're just going to talk about character creation now. Going to plan out our campaign. So
I'm sorry.
Hold on, I'll get my dice.
Right. So I guess to start, because I want to talk a little bit about what your streaming experience has been like. I guess to start, when did you begin streaming on Twitch?
If I had to estimate it, like I did a bunch of random ones probably about 5 years ago, like just to see if I could do it, like on the Xbox. I was really excited by that. Like I didn't have a good computer to do it. Like I even tested it. Like I was like, oh, can I just stream League of Legends? I'm like the best person. Not even close. Like silver. But I played like a couple of like drinking streams. I didn't even have a cam on like half the time. Like Drunk Worms. That's always a fun time.
That's a good game.
It's a ton of fun to Drunk Worms. Like, speaking of our DM and my best friend, like we would always just get in a room and just play Concrete Donkeys only. Like it just.
Oh my gosh.
Goosh, 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 goosh. Like talk about a thwomp. Like it just completely annihilates a map.
Worm is so fun.
So like when I really took a serious take, it was actually when it's probably about a year ago, where I was like, okay, I want to do this. So I started streaming from the PlayStation, and I had an okay PC to help like broadcast. I used the crappy webcam on there, and I was streaming. I want to say I got like a lot of like my first rise was when I was playing Digimon. Like I was playing one of the Digimon games.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, what else should I play? Like I'll play Paladins. I'll play Overwatch. Like primarily I was Overwatch like most of the time, like on console. But now like I always want to be variety. I've been waiting to get certain wires to go retro. I've been like dying to play The Legend of Dragoon on stream. It's like my favorite role-playing game.
Yeah.
It's the first one I beat. A lot of nostalgia. Like I put a ton of hours into that game. The Final Fantasy Tactics, like all of those games. Like I want to bring, but I think I've hit bigger strides. Like so that was of course a newly formed like, hey, let's try this again.
Right.
Sure.
And then gain some momentum. Probably around the beginning of the year. Like I think at the beginning of the year I still wasn't affiliate. I don't think I hit affiliate until February.
Okay.
And then from there, just decided I'm going to be, doing this more consistently. I'm going to try streaming like as often as possible. Hopefully life doesn't get in the way.
All right.
Things like that. But yeah, it's been a fun, probably solid year.
Nice.
Sure. Okay. And that probably lines up when right around when we started too. I think we've maybe only been going maybe a year and a half.
About a year and a half, yep.
Yeah, we started in February, so.
I want to say I started like you guys helped. It was after your charity stream that I was like, you know what, I should try doing that again.
Nice.
It was the one where you got the Switch.
Oh
Switch
yeah.
miss.
Which was about a Switch Mitch, which is what a year in September.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh, has it already been wow?
Yeah, it's wow, that's wild.
That's crazy.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, I saw that. It was the 24-hour. Like I want to say I bought a FAM shirt.
Oh yeah. Yep, I remember.
But I didn't buy it until after. I was like, oh crap, I just got paid. Like, hey, can I still buy that?
Trevor said no, taking it down.
Right, it's gone forever.
He's like, sure.
Well, that's
I'll
awesome.
sell it to you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like I know that. Fun fact: I used to live with Trey when I first came to Ohio.
Trey, who's
like
that guy?
You know, the guy who's obsessed with like red pandas.
Oh,
like
right.
That I cannot confirm or deny if one of his passwords still has like the Spanish word for red and panda in it. Shh.
Oh my god.
No, it was a ton of fun. Like he helped me in a bad spot. Like I was like living on part-time work, not enough to pay for my bills. Like him and a no longer mutual friend kind of put some money together to help me take a bus ride from Texas to Ohio.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool.
It's 26 hours.
Oh.
I only had 2 luggages, and with only pretty much enough money to go back if it didn't work.
Wow.
So, been here ever since. Did Dayton for 1 year, and then ever since it's been 7 years in Columbus.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always been talking about it.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I think I remember that apartment. Because was that when that was in Centerville?
Yeah, it was right by the. It might have been technically Miamisburg, but
Okay.
it was right next to the Dayton Mall, where
Yeah,
he lived
yep.
in the living room,
Yeah.
and we even had Bobby in the closet one time, the utility closet. That was a fun time.
Yep, I do remember that place. I was over there. Rama tried to teach me Magic there one time. Magic the card
Okay.
game.
Oh,
Yep,
How
Magic the
is in,
Gathering.
like,
Such a good card.
but,
He would be the kind of person who would try to teach
right.
you
I was.
Magic, though.
That's why I had to clarify. I'm like, it could probably go either way there.
I wish you'd learn actual Magic, Trevor.
I wish I would learn like actual, not pretend magic, but like real. I can cast spells
Think
magic.
about every time
Absolutely.
someone subs, you
Eldritch
get, like, a big,
Blast!
super awesome Magic.
Right. Ta-da.
Right.
Thank you. Just like sparks fly out of my fingers and shit. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad that it's been so fruitful for you just in the first year. Because I know firsthand, starting out, it can definitely be discouraging.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everyone that streams wants to be successful. You know, you want to. It's easy to get sucked into the numbers aspect
Right.
behind it instead of just having
Yeah.
fun.
I'll tell you what, like, when you guys did the interview with Ashney, like, I hopped into her Discord, I saw what it was, and I really probably got most of my success after joining that. Like,
Nice.
it's a super positive community that, you know, like, taught you what you're doing wrong, kind of thing. Like, I
Nice.
meet with a group of people, like, weekly, and we, you know, just kind of discuss, give honest and open critique. We watch our VODs, and just like, hey, right there, your sound quality sucks between that and the music that you're playing in the background. No one's got the balls to tell you, but we're gonna tell you right here. Always want to have a good mod or a friend to just jump in and make sure that your sound levels are good.
Yeah.
Or just take a sample, like play the loudest music you would. And,
Oh, yeah.
and just see how it is. Or, hey, you've had a long pause from talking, so like it's really helped me get to where I want to be. I'm still far from it, but it's at least laying the groundwork.
Right.
Like I've always been one to want to entertain. Sorry, I'm cutting you off, Trevor.
No, you're good. I was just saying that's cool that there's, because I know that we gained a lot from talking to her too, but we haven't done anything like a group discussion like that. So that's cool to hear that you know, from that you're able to get into something that, because I do agree that there is a lot of feedback that everyone can get that not everyone is willing to tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially, well, you would hope that no one would want to call you out like in your chat just to make things awkward. You know, hopefully
Yeah.
that'd come as like, you know, a DM or something.
I do that as DMs, like as much
Yep.
as possible, unless it's like sometimes where you forget to change the scene.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Like I can be a jerk and just say it in the general chat.
Right.
But like if it's like I know green screens get fuzz sometime if you don't have
Yeah.
like the filter right. Like I'll DM that, hey, just so you know, or the alerts aren't working. I'll DM that.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
'cause I
that's,
mean, everyone takes it like super personally and seriously, and everyone wants to succeed and make the best content they can. So I don't want to be the one that shits on that.
Right.
Pardon my
no,
French.
exactly. Yeah, everyone's just doing the best they can, and no one's, you know, a lot of these issues that someone might have, they're probably not even aware of it. So the fact that there's an outlet like that to where people can work together and get that kind of feedback is really cool.
Yeah, it's
'cause
been a
I
ton
know
of
that's
fun.
Oh yeah, and that's something that I've thought about from time to time. Like, okay, we stream 6 days out of the week, but what is, especially when we have three different setups. I stream on my computer, Tim streams on his, and Trey streams on his. There's going to be a lot of inconsistency there.
Correct.
So what can we do to make that as consistent? So yeah, that's really cool that there's an outlet for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would definitely say that if you guys don't do that, it totally helps. Or like, because the last thing that you want to have, like I don't think that this is the case by any means, but like, oh, Tim's streaming tonight, I don't want to come. Like,
Get that a lot.
Tim is lists way too much.
Right, exactly.
I'd rather watch Trey, the calm, cool, silent type.
Yeah, like when Trevor streams, the music's too loud, or you don't want to have, you want to have like audio levels as consistent as possible, and
yeah. Well, I mean, you can't please everyone, but like, I love the fact that you guys are so variety, like not only in your personalities, but just like the games that you guys play.
Thank you. Yeah, Tim's been doing a great job with that. Just, I think one thing that's helped a lot, at least in our channel overall, is playing a game from start to finish.
I'm so bad about that. I think I have like 6 games I started on stream that I just haven't. I have God of War, I have Link, I have Super Mario Odyssey, I have Mario Tennis Aces. So I mean that doesn't really count, but
right.
Like it can go on. Like, just get so bored with single player sometimes on stream.
It is, and some of the games, from what I found, some of them I'm so involved in the story that I don't really want to. Like I want to be 100% focused on the game. So it's like I'll start a game on stream and I'm like, this doesn't really seem like something I want to finish on stream.
Yeah, I've literally Zach just ran into one of those. Like I think his is Persona 5.
Yeah.
Like he legit was saying that, like, guys, it doesn't seem like a stream game.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Right.
Or like I've gotten upset sometimes with like I'm talking to chat, but it's like, oh, I just missed that. Like, where do I go now? Where do I go? I can't rewind.
Yeah.
like, hold on, guys. Let me pull up this VOD so I can hear what this person's saying.
Let me watch.
Did anyone catch that? Anyone catch that? Huh? All right. Well, switching to Fortnite.
Yep. Yeah, Tim I think kind of kicked it off with Storytime Saturday. That's where I think the consistency first started. To where he's always playing an episodic story game is what he's kind of started with. Not that that'll always be the case.
Right.
But
It just so happens to be like the first 2 games people want me to play are these episodic games. So I'm just like, okay.
Right.
For me.
But then you started playing Silent Hill.
Yeah, that was kind of just like a
random,
random thought. Like I was just sitting there, I was like, they put their Silent Hill collection out. I want to play it. And it was on a Wednesday. And I had a good turnout. Lots of people liked it. Got a few people in there who enjoyed seeing what they were seeing. And I was like, well, then why don't I just make it as simple as like, and I do it because we have 3 people streaming. It's very hard to stay consistent with games, right?
Yeah.
So I felt like it's easier then if I stream this day, and this day. Well, then why don't I just say this day when I stream on this day? If you want to see this, come back on Wednesday. If you want to see me play Silent Hill, come back on Wednesday. If you want to see me play A Wolf Among Us, come back on Saturday. That way they know what day of the week, if they want to see that day continue, that can continue. Versus me streaming, Tuesday, Wednesday, that game, and then Saturday, that game. And then maybe I don't want to play it Saturday, so I'll play it too. It gets confusing that way.
Right.
Yeah. Like, what if, like, in this, I think what you're hoping to avoid is, the person shows up on Tuesday, I was expecting Silent Hill.
Right, exactly.
Unfollowed.
Right, that's exactly
Unfollow, unsub.
To not happen.
Returning my denim jeans right now.
Because I've even had a few people jump in, like, for the first time for the first time for my streams, they're like, wait, you're not Tim. That's, like, they don't understand that, like, we're... Like, there's multiple
collective
people in here.
We look the same, and it confuses me how they don't realize it. Like, a touche to them, they're very perceptive.
Right, I mean, we could be twins.
We could.
All of you look alike.
And
all of you look alike.
We do, right? We're basically just, about said triplets, and not triplets. The other word I was going to say, triplets. So, that's one of those think about it in your head, but don't say it kind of thing, because, like, it's not the right word thing.
Yep.
So... Yeah, and it's trying to keep the confusion out of it. I try to make sure when people, especially when new people join in, that I tell people, look, we are a collective people. We have a collective group. I try to state when I stream, when you stream, when Trey streams, to try to help with that confusion. But it's still going to get confusing for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I do the whole this day this, this day this, this day this, blah, 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 blah.
Sweet.
Yep. And it's kind of nice, though, because it's a good talking point. One thing that, like self-reflection here, one thing that I know that I need to do better is engage with chat a little better. So it's kind of a nice talking point when people aren't aware, because then you're like, oh, yeah, I'm Trevor. I'm the one that streams on Monday. So you must have seen Tim play Wolf Among Us on Saturday. How was that? And it's just like an entryway to, make a personal connection with the viewer. So it's kind of nice that it breaks the ice a little bit easier, at least in some cases you would think, or they'll just pop in and be like, you're not the guy that played Silent Hill. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's so hard. It's so hard to keep people engaged sometimes.
It is.
Yeah. It's definitely, a lot of it's dependent on the game. I know that some games being oversaturated, it's a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Have you noticed, Kenny, that you have more success with certain games than others? Like, is there one game that if you play, you'll definitely have engagement that evening?
I don't have it yet, but I have a feeling like the marbles on stream. But I feel like that's after you get people. But like, it's when you label it Twitch plays. Like Twitch plays, like, so I'm in the mood to just be in a community and play this game together. Like, that's the mindset. Skyrim has always been good.
Yeah, it is. It's weirdly
Skyrim is consistently good. Like, I bet if we pulled it up right now, there's probably only 500 viewers.
All right.
There's probably only 500 viewers unless some big person's playing it, and probably about 25 streamers. Like, it's just very easy to be seen, especially if people have alerts set up for following games. Like, it's a ton of, because I mean that's the kind of game that you can literally play mindlessly. Like, I'm just walking around. Like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Like, hey, there's a city guard. I'm gonna fry you.
Yeah.
Like, I know Fortnite's not good. Overwatch could be good if Overwatch League isn't on.
Right.
I saw a lot of growth when I had it.
Oh yeah. Now that like this first season is over and the All-Star weekend's over, it should pick up a little bit as far as people still wanting, competitive play but can't get it from OWL.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's when the big OWL players probably are going to grow more too.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So let me ask you, when you stream, Kenny, because me and Moonpickle, we've had this discussion before, and this is kind of a weird segment into what kind of streamer are you. When Moonpickle tried to play Fortnite, and he tried to be the kind of streamer that you go to watch competitively, right?
Okay.
So do you see yourself as a person that when someone goes to watch you, are you more of an entertainer, or are you more of a come watch me because I'm good at this game?
Oh, I'm an entertainer. Like, I could even be the best at the game, and I still wouldn't do it because I'm good at the game. I would do it because I want to be entertaining with it. Like, all my life I've just been kind of like a class clown. Like, I feel like I was one of my life jobs is to make people smile and laugh. I'm fascinated by voices, so like I'm constantly just being a silly, like, dumbass, I guess, for lack of better words. Like that's exactly what it is. Like,
right.
I like one of the pieces of feedback that I got from that stream group that we kind of give meet on that. They said, I really like you keep me engaged and you keep me laughing. Like, literally, you were just making conversation with this random person. You said, thanks, dude. I mean, you could be a woman. I don't want to assume. Damn it, I don't want to be sexist. Please don't hate me. Like just going on those tangents. Like, oh, I'm so sorry that I'm trained to call everyone dude. And
right.
Just, like,
I know.
And accepting your personal like follies on it.
Like if I ever say like man or dude on stream, I'm not like assuming you're a man or dude. It's just like this is what I say all the time. Like it's just like I have one of my best friends, she's in Jersey now. I always call her dude, or like it's just.
I call my wife dude and bro. Like we call each other that. It's a term of endearment.
Right.
Yep.
But like I was into acting like my senior year. I wanted to pursue it a little bit more. I've always wanted to be like a voice actor or do something with sound.
That's
so
cool.
like that's just all I've. Like that's like my secret passion, I guess.
Have you ever thought of going into what is it called? ISMR?
ASMR.
ASMR?
Yeah, have you thought about doing that if you like you?
Hey, I just want to thank you for that follow.
Right. Right, exactly.
Listen to the sound of my voice.
This is your
no, I don't think I can do that.
Stream that.
Stream it. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna. I think who is it? Amaranth or something. I don't know how it's pronounced, but like I look at like top streamers and what they're all doing, and she's the one that's just all about ASMR. Like she literally has sub goals to keep going 30 more minutes of it, and people are doing it.
Gosh.
Like so, must hit 10 subs in order to do 30 more minutes of ASMR, and then like it just keeps stacking up. If I were to give myself a weakness in my streaming so far, it's like getting those fun rewards, which I'm hoping to kind of put more effort into. Like I can come up with ideas for other channels all day, but when it comes to my own, it's just like
Right.
Just dance.
Like what do I want to be known as? Like I got the Beard Force thing. Now I'm thinking like, well, maybe I should just call it the Fultz Force. And like, oh, I could totally have like a silhouette of my face with my hair and my beard in like the Jedi. Jedi crest. Like I could do a ton of things like that, but I'm like but I'm not artistic. Like I always come up with the ideas, but I can't put it to paper. And I find sometimes when I explain it like even to an artist, I'm like I don't know if I see that. Like
yeah, I know what you mean. I can relate to that for sure. I feel like I'm just thinking about fam ideas 24/7, like all throughout the week.
It's
like
true,
I'll be taking I'll be at work just taking calls, and Tim and Trey probably get annoyed with it all the time, but I'll just like send them ideas all throughout the day, like, oh yeah, maybe we could try and do this, and they're like, we're trying to work and actually like live our lives. Maybe you should do this thing.
Well, that's awesome though. Like I would say never stop like that. Like it's clearly that you have a passion. You're trying to get your creative side satisfied.
Yeah.
It's just like all I would say is try not to get so squirrely. Like
oh yeah.
Like oh, new shiny thing. Like oh. Like no, let's follow through on that idea. Let's make sure that we give it enough time to bake, or enough time to actually prove that it didn't work.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
I
discouragement sucks. Not to say that you guys don't already do that, but I just figured like, you know what, that sounds like a in my professional life I do a lot of motivational and inspiration speaking in my call center.
Nice.
So it's like, oh, there's that opportunity. I need to say it. There's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely, especially from our D&D stream, you're definitely you fit the entertainer role very well.
For sure.
With you're definitely very good on the spot, coming up with responses and reactions. The voice alone was fantastic.
Yes.
I
was going for that.
Oh yeah, and because that's one thing that I wasn't able to do. I couldn't come up with a different voice, so that was definitely kind of inspiring to try and think of what my character was going to sound like.
It's so hard not to come up like brooding. in that game.
Yeah.
You always want to like be like, I don't like you.
Well, I mean, like, I guess what I did is I literally just looked at a photo and I'm like, is this who I want to be? What would he sound like?
Right.
What do I want him to sound like? Like, things like that. How do I want him to talk? How do I want him to joke around? Like, I was even reading some of the backstory, like the fact that dwarves literally hate humans because they feel like they don't live as long, like, because they don't live as long as them. Like, I think it says, like, it takes 70 years for a dwarf to, like, establish trust with someone.
Wow.
Like,
Damn.
like in that canon. So, of course, humans don't fit it, so they don't even pay any mind. Like, you know,
Right.
you're never going to be friends with a human.
Right.
So they, like, they absolutely hate drow or something like that. So that's why we had a little bit of friction.
Yeah.
So it's just incorporating that random stuff.
That's cool.
It's like, do I want to be all hell-bent about my deity? I kind of have to be since I'm a cleric. That's just the proper properties of this role.
Right.
So yeah, it's always just fun. Like, just let's escape from Ken Fultz, a leader at a call center, and let's jump into Taerik.
Right. Taerik the Cleric.
That was awesome.
Like,
It was so much fun.
yeah, look, I really appreciate that. Like, because I was super nervous that day. Like, I was looking forward to it all week, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to come off super high energy. I don't want to come off too much. I don't want to. I don't want to overtake the stream. I want to be invited back. Like, I want to do this on the regular, guys. Like,
Right. I'm thinking definitely after our talks from earlier, I think we can definitely start doing this on the regular. We'll get a session going to plan some stuff out.
It'd be cool. It'd be really neat.
Yeah.
yeah, it would be a ton of fun. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at chat right now.
Oh yeah. Chat's chat's getting pretty interesting. We're excited to see where that goes. Well, that's a interesting segue into nothing I want to segue into. So how about we do some rapid fire questions, Tim?
Hey, does everyone want to see my hairdo that my wife did for me?
Oh damn,
bro!
Look at that.
It's rocking hard.
So I kind of gave her the idea, like, well, she said that I'm gonna braid it before I put it up in a bun.
I like it. It's very
and I'm like,
Taerik.
It's very Taerik.
Very Taerik.
Taerik. So I literally told her, dude, you need to hashtag this. It's waffle bun. It looks like a fucking waffle. Like,
turn around
it's
again.
gonna go viral.
Nice.
It does look like a waffle bun.
Waffle bun.
I'm gonna pour some syrup.
Copyright pending.
Right. Hashtag waffle bun.
All right. Are you ready for rapid fire
Yes.
round?
Yeah.
Rapid fire.
These are the rapid fire questions that go to all of our summer streamers. So get just first gut reaction as fast as you can.
And I changed one due to the fact that we're getting close to Halloween. So are you ready? Here we go. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Biggest fear?
Death.
Sonic or Mario?
Mario.
Death by space or ocean?
Ocean.
What fantasy world would you live in?
Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
Fight 100 kindergartners or 1 Olympic bodybuilder?
100 kindergartners.
Would you rather be completely invisible for one day or be able to fly for one day?
Fly.
Favorite slasher movie?
Does zombie count?
Sure.
Do you know the movie Zombie?
No.
It's Tim. Do you like cheesy
I
movies?
love cheesy movies.
You need to find this one. It is a must. It's spelled Zombi.
Oh.
It's Italian, and I believe it's from the 70s.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever, like, I want to say I Love the 70s even did like a little small snippet of it. Like,
Zombie.
so it was like a little snippet of like worst, like most terrifying sounds ever. And it has a scene of a woman being pulled. Like, there's a shard in a door. Imagine this is just a pointy.
Okay.
And a zombie is just pulling her head and you watch it go in, like it's super
no.
bad, like she's screaming, and then all of a sudden it gets so deep, like a man is screaming, like, like, and it's got terrible effects, like.
That's perfect.
I want to say I watched that movie on a first date. It did not turn into any second date after that. Because she said she was into zombies. I'm like, oh, I'm going to give you cheesy zombie movies.
Oh, my God.
But she was more like into like The Conjuring or The Ring or some crap like that.
Awesome.
I'm like... And that too I got from my buddy Kevin. Like he was just completely into those kind of zombie movies. But yeah, that would be my favorite slasher.
Zombie, one I've never heard of. I'm going to look that one up.
It'll the cover of it is literally just a picture of a zombie like this, like.
Perfect. Screen cap that, and we'll just
Right.
we'll Google search it.
Enders, have fun with that one when you edit it.
Jedi Master? or
Like,
Sith
we'll be right back. I watched that today, and I was like super impressed with it. So
Oh,
great
you did a
work
good
there.
job.
Jedi Master or Sith Lord?
Jedi Master.
Console or PC?
Console, because I own them. Like, I want a PC, guys. Like, I want to answer PC, but currently, console.
Okay. It's okay. There we go.
You passed the
We
gauntlet.
did it.
The gauntlet. Golf clap.
Right.
The crowd goes wild.
Kenny, we love you. Oh my God, man. Start an ASMR. Start an ASMR stream. Do an ASMR stream,
I would tune
please.
in a lot. I'd have it constantly running.
I don't have, like, I literally use this as my mic, so, I mean, it's just not going to work.
If we hit, or I'll say when we hit 500 followers, Tim will do a denim ASMR stream to where he just rubs his denim into the microphone.
I could totally do
Can you,
that.
can you do it shirtless? Like, or
We don't want to get banned.
oh, wait,
Someone
no,
just have like a denim ski mask on with eye holes cut out, just like rubbing the denim on a microphone.
can you have your glasses on the outside of said denim mask?
Yes.
Like, make it look
Oh
like
my
Garth
gosh.
from Wayne's World, where he's wearing, like, the yes, that's awesome.
That'd be freaking awesome.
That'll be our celebratory stream.
Well,
I mean,
volunteered for it.
Is it more like a never nude thing? Have you ever seen Arrested Development? The whole denim thing?
I have not. I started Arrested Development, and I think I need to give it another shot, but it's just one of those I couldn't get into.
All I remember about Arrested Development is there's always money in the banana stand. It's the only thing I remember.
Yes. Yep, always money in a banana stand. I would definitely say like 5 episodes in is
Okay.
probably the threshold that you need.
Sure, okay.
It's just unless you're not a fan of like dry delivery, like
I am
Jason
for
Bateman.
sure.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman is by far like one of the best dry deliverers like ever.
That's awesome.
And he just thrives under it, and like David Cross is on there. He plays Tobias.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he's saying all the wrong things. He's the first. He's the first ever analyst therapist, or the analrapist.
Oh no.
And he literally had it on his business card. It was the best. Sorry, I get distracted very easily.
No, that's awesome. So, what I know we've talked. Just to kind of go over what we've talked about so far. We've talked a ton about D&D and what we want to do there. Kind of how you became a streamer, how you've grown since then. So we've talked about the past, present Kenny. What is future Kenny, or what does future Fultz look like? What are you
Paint me
planning
a
moving
picture
forward
of
here?
what you see yourself in the future.
Right. Do you have cyborg enhancements?
Your waffle bun,
no.
like 3 times the size.
So, like, the whole idea, this is the longest, I mean, of course, I haven't had a haircut in like 3 years. I've been growing my hair out to donate. Like, it's just, I don't know what, it like warms me whenever I think about like a child, like just rocking my hair, like,
That's awesome.
going through a rough time.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what kind of inspired me to do it. I've had like just nothing but support from my wife, and just like, yeah, do it. So I went through the ugly beetle phase and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Anywho, you're asking me about the future, so I might not have waffle bun. probably by the end of the year. I hope to donate it by then.
Someone could have waffle bun then, though.
Yes, yeah, someone could. Someone
Right.
could have waffle bun.
Someone could have waffle bun.
One can only dream. So I'm sitting pretty at around 228 last I checked. For the future, I just want to make a lot more investment to get like a better running PC.
Sure.
Being able to do like more transitions, more rewards for subs. Because to be honest, I don't feel like I reward my subs at all, other than just being a silly jackass on camera for them. So like a ton of fun times where we can get engaged, like just build a community that supports each other and go from there. Like I'd love to get more involved. Like this might be even more long term, but I'd love to just host like a D&D stream. Like I feel like yeah. I feel like I started like Twitch watching D&D streams and just like, oh my god, all my friends are in other places. I'd love to play Roll20 and like get this campaign like the gang back together and play this. Like, oh my gosh, guys, come on. Like I had like the best time of my life like with those friends playing D&D. So like recreate that. Must. But yeah, I would definitely say in probably like my goal is like six months, get some upgrades and be able to make that happen, dedicate more time to it. My stretch goal, maybe 2 years, do it full time.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh,
yeah. Like that's a realistic and also unrealistic stretch goal.
Right.
But it's a goal,
like,
you know, you have something to strive for.
Oh,
yeah. Like I love what I do at my work, but at the same time, like if I can somehow master my craft and somehow get involved with something I've always wanted to get involved with, like I'm gonna take that risk. The last risk I took was a 26-hour bus ride to go to Ohio. It's paid off. I think I can thrive under that pressure. So yeah, I just have to stop being scared. Letting fear win.
Yeah, man. Sometimes all it takes is that leap. I mean, even just you. I mean, all of us really just taking that leap to start streaming consistently.
Right.
Like that's a big commitment on its own.
It is.
It's. I know our situation is always going to be different than anyone else's, having 3 different people on one stream. So things like being able to do it full time aren't as likely in our future. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to keep growing, keep trying. It's always been about community for us too. Like we love working with streamers such as yourself and Leo and Zach. It's great to just have this circle of great friends and other people you can play with. And you're always going to worry about the numbers in the back of your mind, but in the forefront, we're here to entertain and to have fun.
Yeah.
Make connections, make friends. That's really what we're here for. So I'm hoping that the fam and Fultzilla and I Leo and Zach the Ogre, everyone can just kind of like lift each other up. I hope we all just keep this small little ring of streamers growing, because it's been a blast.
It really has. Like, and if one of us hits partner, like, just literally make a team. Like,
right.
It would be a ton of like, oh hey, you could just watch everyone. Like, you know who you came for.
Yep.
These group of people.
Yep.
You've grown with them. You've learned to love them. Yeah, I could do movie announcers. Like, we could do voiceovers. We could do fun stuff like that.
We should build we should film a trailer for our fall Extra Life stream.
Oh,
have Kenny
you should
do the announcement.
We should.
You should.
I think 100% we should.
I think that is the best way to hype one of those situations.
Oh yeah.
One of my saddest moments in fam is the fact that our one video never made it. We started a intro video, and it was going to be the best thing in the world, and we recorded some bits of it, and it was great. It'll be lost in fam forever, but it was awesome. It was a great idea. It was fantastic, and I hope we should do something like that for the charity stream.
You guys should.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond that, I mean, it sounds like an awesome idea. Like, literally, the D&D session that Critical Role does. Like, they have an intro. They have literally the intro of their episode for their, like, it's a podcast, it's on their YouTube, it's live. Like, and it's just a recorded thing of just them living in the 80s or wearing 80s attire and just like getting all together. Like, hey, oh, we're here. Like, you guys should do that.
We should, because
we should. We will.
Or animate it.
We will.
Oh,
animate it.
Oof. That would be if we. That I think out of our, we have very talented friends, and I think one thing that we're missing is someone that can animate. So
okay.
If we make friends with an animator, like we're pretty set. Like Enders is always very helpful with right. Enders is always really helpful with like video stuff. Trey's knowledgeable with audio.
He really is.
I think we're pretty well rounded with talent, but that's one thing that I think is just very hard to come by as an animator. An animator that doesn't have like a career already. To where,
yeah. You know? An animator just starting out who's also really good.
Right.
like, I can do claymation if you guys want.
Right.
We can stop motion that. It'll take like 3 years.
To have a claymation intro video for FAM.
Like, I don't know why, but that's just making me think, like, it's of course not claymation, but, you know, remember the beginning of Rugrats, where it's like the episode, bing. No, not even that, like, just for the title of the episode.
Oh, how it's just like all wavy.
And then, like crumbles away. Like, something like that, like, you have your music, which, by the way, awesome job having awesome music, like,
for
FAM. Like, just getting claymation, like, being built into just, say, FAM.
Right.
Like, that probably wouldn't take too long. And, of course, it has to be purple.
Oh, of course. We'll just buy a shit ton of purple Play-Doh, and we'll just it'll take us like a full week to do it, but we'll just keep taking the pictures, throw it all together in a video.
Yep. Trey will just come home, see you like just playing with Play-Doh, like, what the fuck did Trevor snap?
My eyes are all like bloodshot.
It must be perfect.
Right.
Yep, get the denim. Get the denim.
Right, get the denim. I need it.
The M is going to wear jeans, guys. The M is going to wear jeans for Tim.
That's actually
it will be perfect.
That is great.
That would be amazing.
And the F and the A will somehow wear glasses for all three of you. Like, oh my god. It'll incorporate everything.
It'll be awesome.
Why aren't you writing things down, guys?
Right.
Take notes.
Kenny basically gave us the whole thing. We just have to steal it from him.
Like I said, I can come up with ideas for other people, just on my own. Like, oh, it could happen.
It's great. It's genius. Makes sense.
Patent it right now.
Right.
We don't
get
know
to the copyright office. Go. We actually we even talked about trademarking our logo until we saw how much the cost was.
How much is it?
It's like $300.
I mean, that's not terrible.
No, I mean, like, it makes sense. I'm not saying it's not worth it. Like, you're basically trademarking it, so you're,
like the mana bottle, right?
Yeah, the mana bottle.
Not.
And we'd probably
it's not worth it.
Couldn't you get a patent? Like, this was like a huge rumor, and I'm totally taking somebody else's word for it. Isn't like the easiest way to patent an idea is to mail it to yourself? It's like technically counts as authorized mail. I don't know if that's like true or not.
I don't know, but I'd be interested in finding.
Allegedly by someone, like if you mail it to yourself, it is an official document or some crap like that.
Interesting.
I know.
The whole reason it came up was because of this. I saw this on Reddit.
Oh.
And I was like, well, that's interesting. And I'm sure there's probably no relation. That person has probably never even seen our logo.
And my guess is probably more logos like it. I mean, realistically, it's a mana bottle.
Realistically, yeah, it's not like there's anything very. I don't know. Like, yeah, it could be used for.
It's not super, like, unique.
Correct.
If we put
there's nothing
on the mana bottle.
Right.
Just saying.
We'll just fill it, instead of it being filled with blue, just like blue liquid, it'll just be like liquid denim in the bottle. Just liquid denim floating around in there.
I see. My mind went to literally recreating the Kool-Aid Man, but out of your mana bottle. Like, oh yeah, I got you, Lee Wranglers right here. like, what is this? What is this? Like, of course he has to have that raspy voice and like be super creepy.
He absolutely has to.
Because Tim.
Wait, is that how I sound? Am I super creepy raspy?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You didn't file your paperwork.
Mike Wazowski. You didn't file your paperwork.
Always watching.
Always watching. Well, I will say we just we're a little over the hour mark there.
Oh, guys, can we please hang out more? Please?
Absolutely. So with this podcast, I think we definitely we got some great D&D ideas that we'll be following through on. Because I know that me and Tim have talked quite a bit, and we definitely want to revive Mana and Monsters. Mm-hmm. We miss it quite a bit, so I'm hoping that we can get that going with Kenny at some one-off campaigns, maybe a consistent one to where we have a recurring character that we play every 2 weeks or whatever it is. But I'm very interested in the unique one-off campaigns too.
Yeah. It would be a ton of fun.
I appreciate you coming on to talk about not only those but yourself as a streamer. I mean, we've known you for quite some time. You've always been really supportive of the fam. I mean, hell, you helped me and Trey move, which was a huge help. So, on and off stream, you've been very supportive. So we appreciate that. And we're looking forward to inviting you to more streams. I know I messaged you about another little event that we might be doing here soon, too. So keep an eye out for that. Secrets. I don't think Tim even knows about it.
Thank you so much for having me. Like, seriously, like it's always a pleasure. Like I said, I tend to be a supportive person, and that's just what I do. Love.
Tim can't do hand hearts, by the way.
Shut up! Don't make fun of me.
So this is what he does because he can't.
He's
do hand
TN. I can't. He's TN.
He is TN. That's hilarious. All right.
It was the tri-beam. Like, guys, I can't thank you enough for having me.
Wow, Tim. I just realized that, too.
It is a tri-beam. That's
all right.
What's solar flare? Solar flare's like up in the...
Solar flare's like this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. That's
solar flare!
That's right. But remember, tri-beam actually leaves a square on the ground.
What?
Tri-beam leaves a square on the ground. Have you ever seen that? Yeah,
no.
Watch when he does it. When he does it, watch the attack hit the ground. It's a square. Like, it's a legit thing.
What?
Yep.
But yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for having me. Like, it's been a fun blast. Like, I hope to do some more projects. Never sweat it. Like, I'm always happy to help as long as I can.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're definitely right there with you. If there's anything we can do to help. I know we've got something that we need to work, or that I need to work on with you that'll be coming to the Fultz stream here soon too. But yes, definitely thanks for coming on, and thank you for everyone in chat, or if you're listening to the podcast in post, whether it's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you listen to. Appreciate you listening for another Summer of Streamers podcast. We have a few more before the summer ends too, that'll be announced at a later date. Then we'll probably get back into our regular bi-weekly podcast, just us talking about games and nerdy things and everything that we know and love. So definitely check out Fultzilla. You can check them out at just Fultzilla on Twitch. That's probably the most important one, but you also have a Twitter as well. I'm not sure if there's any other socials you want to throw out there.
Yeah, on Twitter, it's just Ken Fultz, KenFultz. And if you want to look at Instagram, it's Fultzilla as well. Awesome. Happy to do that. I don't post a lot of updates on that. It's primarily Facebook if you're friends with me, and Twitter.
Nice. Well, yeah, definitely check him out. He's one of the people that we stream with probably the most often, so definitely go show him some love if you haven't already. It's been a great time talking with you today, and for everyone listening, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to FAMcast. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/forallmanakind. You can also find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and Spotify, so make sure you follow us there to keep up with the latest episodes.